Now, he has put the queens down to spit the larva so that they can get what they need on these bases. An observer is on its way, so he will not only be able to see what's on the creep, but also see tunneled units. Not going to be very effective for the roaches now to burrow. They can climb away all they want. They could even try and climb under force fields, but they will not be too many with only 2 sentries out there. Roaches are going to try and hold their own. The Zealots aren't even engaging when they possibly should. Force fields going down, but they are terrible force fields. Burrowing underneath them and away. Zerglings trying to defend in their base, not letting these Zealots get very far. The Queens even involved. Wow, the Roaches are going to do substantial damage against... Well, I'm using substantial a lot, but they are going to do enough damage against the Zealots. However, the sentries, or the Stalkers, in fact, are going to stay back and be able to pick off these Roaches one by one, even with their upgrades, but... Banelings will be on the way. There are 8 of them. Will they move and do enough damage to this army? They don't even have upgrades, and they're just kind of sitting back there. They were not kind of attached to the army off the get-go. However, there are more roaches, and they will be able to do enough damage against these stalkers and do enough to destroy them. It's all going to be interesting to see how they are micro. However, they are not focus firing. Oh, but they do turn it around. Holy cow, roaches. Wow. With upgrades, doing damage against the stalkers. However, the warp gates allow them to just warp in more units as necessary. Meanwhile, 4 roaches are going to be warped or spawned in by the hatcheries as well. Nothing really doing in this final hatchery. I don't even think he has them. No, he doesn't even have this hatchery hotkeyed at all. He isn't even going to send workers yet, but he does have the Banelings. He is aware of their presence, and he may get a speed upgrade in the future and use them as applicable. I had to catch my breath there. A lot of action in this. A lot of constant pushing by the Protoss player. Able to get that observer in there, but the Banelings will sneak down. Will they be able to do enough? They do a decent amount of damage to these Zealots, so they will not stand too much of a chance. Now 4 more roaches on the way. Still nothing happening in this expansion. Roaches are, oh wow, how are they holding their own with a force field? But there are a lot of roaches and a lot of drones coming in, so they will push these sentries back, just not enough to do damage like you would thought they would. Oops, I'm sorry about that. Roaches are now actually being on the offensive, trying to gain map control in this upper ground. The drone's finally working down to that expansion. He may begin to reap the benefits of that. Get the Overlord out of there. In fact, turn it into an Overseer so you can see that darn blasted... Oh wow, he actually lost it. Force field going down so they can't escape. However, there are more roaches in this army. But more stalkers are on the way. But the roaches do outnumber them, so they will be able to be a bit more aggressive. He's even burrowing the roaches to get that regeneration. Definitely knows what he's doing. Massive roaches. Interesting. Now, still no transition from them. They're just thinking that they have it so easily handled. Now he's actually going to kite with these roaches against the Zealots. The Zealots don't have charge, so once again, I want to see TCF make a next step. There is no next step. However, OWL is continually coming up with ways to do better. He is getting more drones and more roaches, trying to make the best from this third base. See more Banelings, see more Zerglings, something on the way. Another Queen going down because he did lose it in the defense of his army. Going to burrow and regenerate his army as well. Now, once again, if you look at it, Protoss is losing more units and has failed to expand. He is out of minerals in his main, is slowly going to run out of minerals in his expansion. He has no expansion himself. He does have a couple places to expand, and is even going to scout out with this probe to see if there is an expansion. He is going to see it, and he will probably move his units down there in a moment. The roaches are pushing forward. Force fields, not very effective once again. The roaches, even so, could just burrow their way away behind the force fields, outranging these stalkers. He is going to move them back into the fray, however, and wow, he's going to destroy so many of these stalkers with these roaches, heavily in favor of orlyOWL. Wow, amazing matchup, amazing game so far, and there, TCFnick just leaves the game. No GG necessary. I stuttered. It's probably late at night, and I'm running on some very little sleep. So I do want to thank you. It's probably orlyOWL who sent this to me on Team Liquid. Thank you for that. I learned a thing or two about the power of burrow and roach micro. Also, hopefully you learned about expanding, next stepping, and coming up with ways to improve your army. Lack of that by TCFnick. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.